Okay, so pretty decent haul from Shiloh. Notably, we picked up some 10-pounder parrots, another pile of palmettos, recovered a bunch of Springfields from dead friendlies. Likewise with some Cooking Brothers and Reward Farmers, which we'll just sell, and some 12-pounder howitzers. So let's see what we got. 155,000, 13,600 men. We got Forest Cavalry. Another corps, Holden Johnson, plus 115 recruits. And that supply wagon we captured almost by accident. First thing to do is save. And 2 career points. Definitely going to get 2,000 max brigade size. And the next point gives me 5 brigades per division, which I think I want.
Yes, sir.
Let's hold off and see what the next battle is. I believe the next battle is First Winchester. Yeah. I always do these in chronological order as listed by the game, by the way. So I have a sneaking suspicion First Winchester might be changed in this patch, but we'll see. In any case, let's see what the deployment looks like. So I can only take 8 brigades, so there's really no reason to expand for the moment. And let's take a look at the other battles while we're here. Cross Keys, a lot of Confederate players are familiar with this. It's a very, very difficult defense that requires a very precise configuration. That's 10 brigades. And then Port Republic, which is usually a walkover, although it can be touch and go sometimes depending on what happens. 9 brigades there. But then the next grand battle is Gaines Mill, which is a slog, and you can bring up to 55 brigades. So my goal over the next few battles is going to be to build out my second corps and make my first corps strong. So with that in mind, I'm going to pass on the army organization this time. I took the army organization point that gave me 2,000 man brigades, and I'm going to take a point in politics, so we get a little bit more money. Place leaders first. Yeah, what I may do is replace myself with Johnston, Timo Jackson, and put myself in charge of Q Corps. The reason is because my mix of skills, my randomly provided mix of skills, is not entirely optimal. I prefer to have movement with the cavalry bonus if I'm going to do that. So let's see here. So Johnston for the moment. Take me out.
Yes, sir.
Swap me in. Swap Johnston in. And Johnston, we are going to make him our defensive corps leader. So we're going to give him ammo and infantry. Oh, I forgot. I always forget to rename this because the names are inconsistent. Okay. These guys get a bump. Take accuracy. These guys got bumped with 1 star. It looks like we took 500, couple hundred, 600, 400. 400. Looks like we took about 3,000 casualties overall. Maybe 4,000. which isn't bad. 10 Powder Ordnance Group managed to actually make it through more or less intact. So let's see here. We've got plenty of men, that's no problem. We've got forest to take care of. Let's see what the army looks like. Got our first batch of Springfields and 1853s. That's good. Three-board farmers can be sold. Problem with the Smiths is we've got enough here to almost be viable, and they're good weapons, but our chances of getting any more of them are slim. Might hang on to them for now. They're 5,000 bucks worth of weapons. It's sort of the same thing with the Remingtons. We got 315 of them. They're pretty decent. They have a very high fire rate. Their melee is not as good as the Colt 1855s, and they're more expensive. I think I will sell these because we still don't have enough to make a full cavalry unit, and that's 7,000 bucks right there. Where's the Cooking Brothers can go. And we now have a plethora of artillery, including 7 additional 24-pounders that I need to purchase over the course of the next 7 battles. Yeah. Okay. So the fun part here is that I think I can do that. I can keep 5 brigades and have Forest as part of the cavalry. For 15 grand, we can give him pattern 1861s. Oh boy. Yeah. Pattern 1861s are okay. They're not rapid fire, not like the Smiths. They're about the same as the 1855s, a little bit worse. So not a particularly great choice. We have some 1855s, but our skirmisher unit's equipped with those. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Let's see what we actually need to do here. Hell, I could leave him with the shotguns, at least for now. Don't need to do anything with the artillery right now, because they won't be in this fight. I also probably won't take supplies into this fight. The worst losses were here. This unit's 2-star, very strong. I pump him all the way up to 2,000, he'll lose his 2-star status. So try to get him up. I can get him up to 1150 with about 10,000. It's not enough. Another couple hundred. That's 20,000 on this unit so far. Not quite. guys. 50 guys. Yeah, the goal here is to just barely avoid losing the firearms reloading time and accuracy bonus. We can take the hit for the rookies. Morale efficiency, like his efficiency is 53. He's pretty good. Yeah, so that was 20,000. That was about 30,000, 35,000 right there to bring that guy up to strength, which is just rough. It's also possible. What we may want to do is swap out his Mississippis for Springfields. I have to pay 11 for 2,500 of them. That might not be a bad deal. Yeah, let's reload that. One army organization, one politics. I'm wondering if I should assign. I usually put Johnston as my defender corps with extra ammunition. But he is going to end up having to lead this group in fighting. So I think I'm going to change this option to speed and infantry. These guys get their accuracy. These guys get their stamina. And then we swap forest for artillery. Spend 11 points on these end fields. Takes me down to 29. Should avoid a morale penalty, assuming I don't lose. And we're going to equip these guys with end fields. I think I got them up to about 35. 20,000. Quite. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That leaves me plenty of Mississippis to fill these guys out, but I don't lose their stars, so they're going to get a bunch of veterans too. I suspect I'll have to probably spend almost as much. Yeah, it's going to be a couple hundred more at least. See how painful it is. These guys are significantly cheaper and easier to equip. Fortunately, I captured a bunch of palmettos, which essentially outfitted both of those units. And that leaves me 100,000. Or 25,000. At least for this. Since we have Jackson hanging around, we'll make him division leader. Drop the artillery. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Oh! Yeah, gotta reload. What happened there was I lost my extra brigade slot by accident without thinking. You only want to swap units in and out of that first, in and out inside the core, otherwise you'll lose your 5 brigade core. So we'll start over. Politics, AO. Mandel assigned to those troops. These guys, their pluses. Order those Enfields. Swap me out for Johnston. Oh, I forgot to resell this stuff too. Yeah, not quite.
Yes, sir.
He's got to go all the way up to 1800, at least. Yeah, there we go. I think it's probably worth considering spending some money on those guys. Let's fill out the others first. So that leaves me 128,000. That's my cat wanting to get in on the action. So we're gonna need cavalry. There's no question. There's also not a lot to it, really. Let's go ahead and get those guys outfitted. Might give them a few veterans. Just to ease the cost a little bit. Pleasing efficiency 31. I don't think it's too expensive just to pump those guys all the way up. Not sure of the value of that. These guys, I mean, there's not a lot of them to begin with, and they do take a significant amount of damage, but on the other hand, they're fairly cheap, and they punch above their weight, so I'm not sold on this, but skirmishers are definitely stronger than they used to be. That leaves me 91,000. Now right here, I've got the units that I need to handle First Winchester. We just need infantry and cavalry. Assuming that they haven't changed how the AI handles First Winchester, it's generally pretty easy. You can overrun some artillery and skirmishers, and then capture the town, and then essentially fend them off as they come in. It's not very difficult. And one reason I can go in without supplies is because there's a supply wagon that comes in on the east side of the town about halfway through the battle that you can capture and utilize if you need. So the question after this is, what do I do now in terms of buffing up these units? We've got to do something about forest. Really like him to have these smiths, but yeah, that ain't happening. I could convert him. I mean, we got plenty of Colts. They turned into melee, but I think it's about time for a gun-armed unit. We could leave him with the sawed-offs. We probably want to make him larger if we do that. One of the advantages here is you can throw rookies at this unit pretty heavily, and yeah, what you lose is they're a 3-star, which is firearms, morale, reloading time, cover, which for a mobile cavalry skirmish unit is not particularly great. On the other hand, giving them veterans is really expensive. Like you can see, 10 guys is $2,000. So what you end up doing is padding these guys up. They lose points very quickly, but you can at least pad them up to the point where they're a little more survivable, but they keep their 3 stars. If I'm going to do that, I'd like to give them better weapons. Let's take a look at artillery. It's 20,000 to get the Napoleon battery up to speed. I think I can live with that. Let's go ahead and vet those guys up. This is something you have to watch. Other people who've watched my videos previously know this. You'll lose men, and it's not immediately obvious that you need to replenish their men. But as you can see, he's down 21, which means he's almost down a gun. It means if you send him into battle like this, he'd lose a gun almost immediately. So we'll keep him at 12 guns. We might bump those guys to 16, but I think it's more likely that I will add some more. Really don't have anything else we can add in terms of weapons. Some Fayettevilles in the shop, but we're never going to get them. brings us to the problem of forest. I think I'm gonna have to give him 1861s. It's not ideal. It's either that or disband him and reform him with only 100 guys and give him Smiths, which ain't gonna happen. It cost me 15,000 just to equip those guys.
Yes, sir.
Throw another 20,000 at him to add 100 guys. 3 stars are just brutally expensive. But if you leave him 300, he's likely to die. I think I'm okay with leaving him a 2-star. Oh, but we don't have enough Enfields for that. Wow, okay. That's the best we can do. $87,000 to get him to that point. Using veterans. I think I'm gonna spend 11,000 to get him to 350. And then just enough for him to keep 3 stars, which leaves him with 427 men. That'll survive, and it's not too expensive. I'll just have to be very careful with them. So that leaves me 40,000. Let's go ahead and take a look what we've got in terms of artillery. What I would like to do is take a colonel and give him those 24-pound howitzers. That's 20,000 men, or 20,000 bucks, but he gets the bonus right off the bat. We'll set him up for cross keys. Gives me one 24-pounder to buy.
Sir, yes, sir!
10-pounder parrots. Set somebody up for 8 of the 6-pounders. What does that leave me with? 12-pound howitzers. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artillery batteries. Yeah, we could probably manage that. Gun 12-pound howitzer battery pretty cheap. Now, Siegfried's up to Brigadier General. We could promote him and set him up as the 3rd Corps leader, but we don't need a 3rd Corps yet. We really have enough to fill up. 2nd Corps. So I think this is where we will stick. And at some point, what'll probably happen is I'll probably demote Aetius to a division commander and swap in somebody who's got better stats. We'll see. Alright. This is what we're going to go into 1st Winchester with. Thanks for watching.